Hi there, it's Louise here of Timeless Craft Mama, and today I'm sharing my very first scrapbook layout process video with you, created for A2Z Scraplets. And this page I've entitled Fishing. Now, I've used the chipboard piece from A2Z Scraplets, and as soon as I saw this chipboard piece, I knew that I could make the perfect layout. So a couple of things I'm going through here I've done. I've got a stencil, I've got some background papers from Craft, and I've also printed out my photo and my journaling. Now I've pre-prepared my page with clear gesso, and I'm going to go ahead and add some elements to that page now. I'm just preparing a few elements before I get going on the background here. I knew I wanted to make a primarily blue layout, so I've pulled some blue gelato. I've got some glitter paste there as well, which I did actually end up leaving off, but I just started with a few elements from my stash and then worked on building this layout. Now initially when I was prepping this chipboard, I added a coat of gesso just so that the acrylic paint would hold, because my plan was to actually apply acrylic paint to the chipboard and then to clear emboss over the top. But you'll see me treat this chipboard later in the video, and instead of picking the clear embossing powder, I picked the white. So I had to rethink what I was going to do, and I've gone ahead later in the video and I'll fix that mistake. So I've used the A2Z Scraplets oblong stencil, and I've just applied some whipped spackle through there. The circles on the background in this layout have been drawn with the Tim Holtz Distress Crayon, and I'm then just applying some splatters of this lighter blue acrylic paint that's been watered down. So I have, as you can see, added a coat of acrylic paint to this chipboard, and while I liked the effect that I was going for, I really think the final result of the chipboard is quite striking and has a really grungy kind of feel to it. So I've popped some card on the back of my photo just to help it pop off the page a little bit more, and I'm just going to work on where I'm going to pop everything. So I've cut my strips of journaling out and I'm laying those around the page. I knew that I wanted to put those where they were, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere those off camera. I'm also using just a couple of little bits of cheesecloth to work on the diagonals of this page. Now, I wasn't initially happy with the fishing title being up the top there, but I think once I add the extra coats of embossing to it, it certainly doesn't get quite as lost. So here's where I thought I was using the clear embossing powder, and really should read before I start applying, but it's actually white embossing powder. So you'll see that all of the acrylic paint colour that's underneath it is actually gone because I've covered it with white embossing powder. But that's alright. What I'm going to do next is heat the white embossing powder that's already set, and then I'm just going to sprinkle some different colour embossing powders onto that heat set already. What it does is the second coat of the embossing powder settles into the first coat, and you get this really kind of mixed product as far as the way the colours shine through. And you can see that I've used a really navy kind of blue and then a lighter blue, almost like an ombre effect, but sort of a bit brighter and a bit more colour in there as well, with, you know, the messy look letting some of the white show through as well. So I'll give you a bit of a close-up and you can sort of see how that chipboard finished piece turned out. Now the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop all of the elements of this layout onto the page. So I'm just using a matte gel with a spatula just to adhere that cheesecloth, and sticking the final elements of this page together. Now some of the little extras I've used on this page are some tags. So I've used, again, from the same Craft collection of papers, just to keep in this sort of navy blue kind of theme that I've got going on here. A couple of little tags just to build some interest. I've also got some flowers and a little heart there that I'm going to build a cluster. The Tim Holtz small talk stickers just to add that little bit of extra interest to this page. A couple of black splatters at the end, which are not my favourite thing, but I really like the way some people can make a black splatter look. And this page is done. So I hope you enjoyed that process video from me, and I really enjoyed sharing some of the A2Z Scraplets products with you. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos from me, and check out A2Z Scraplets for some chipboard goodies.